Hello, brothers and sisters. Hey, thanks for joining me again today. This week in the US, some Democratic lawmakers decided to educate the US military on their responsibilities. It's causing a little bit of a stir. Let's watch what they said and see what we think.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military,
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we
So there you've seen it. What do you think? We've got 6 Democrat politicians who were former service or intelligence agents of the US reminding our military of their duty to not follow unlawful orders. Nothing wrong with that, right? Let's watch it again and I'll comment a little.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military.
And the
So they were in the military and they know about chain of command, but they've decided not to work through the chain of command. They're going to talk directly to every soldier in the military, okay?
intelligence community.
Who take risks each day.
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
Oh, Americans' trust in the military is at risk. Why would that be?
This administration is pitting our uniformed military,
And intelligence community professionals.
Against American citizens.
All right, so this administration is pitting the military and intelligence agencies against U.S. citizens. That's a pretty bold statement, sir. Can you tell me more? Give me specifics and details on how the administration is doing that? I did not realize they were.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
So I think they just said that threats are not just coming from abroad, but from here at home as well.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
So you can refuse illegal orders. So they're implying the threats to the nation and the Constitution are coming from Trump and the administration, the duly elected president of the United States. We're getting into some dangerous territory here. And for people who've watched my channel, you know that I'm a pretty big proponent of free speech. So this is going to be an interesting one. What do you think? Is this free speech? Is this okay for them to be giving advice directly to the military and cutting out of the chain of command? I know what I think, but I'd love to know what you think.
You can refuse illegal orders.
And yes, you can refuse illegal orders. Every service member in basic training or OCS is trained that you have to follow lawful orders and question them if you don't think that they're lawful. There's a process for that. It's already there. Every service member is trained in it. Why are these folks telling people something that the military already knows?
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
So no one has to follow orders that violate the law or the Constitution. This is true, and all orders are coming down from generals to the regular troops. Those generals and the officers below them have a process to seek guidance from military lawyers to ensure these are legal orders if there's any question before it gets down to the troops. So again, why are they doing this?
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we
All right, so when I saw this video, I thought it was pretty crazy for sitting Congress people, especially who were veterans or intelligence agents, speaking directly to the military and bypassing chain of command. I don't think that's a good thing. Again, tell me if I'm wrong. So Trump understandably got a little bit annoyed about this, to put it mildly. So let's see what Trump said about this. The Washington Examiner put out a post on X or Truth Social. Democratic veterans in Congress urge service members to refuse unspecified unlawful orders. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't actually give any details of what is unlawful that the military is being asked to do. I'd like to know what these unlawful orders are. Right now, I don't believe there are any. Please, in my comments, give me examples if I've got this wrong. So what did Trump respond on Truth Social? It's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. An example must be set, President Donald J. Trump. So Trump thinks it's seditious behavior and they should be arrested and put on trial. Okay? What else did he say? This is really bad and dangerous for our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up. President Donald J. Trump. So he's being a little hyperbolic there. Legally, I don't think they could be charged with treason. I'm not a lawyer, but I believe treason only applies to giving aid or comfort in time of war to the enemies of the United States. And so I think it's a stretch to say it's treason. And then he said, seditious behavior punishable by death. So the media and the Democrats are having a field day with that quote because they're saying he's now called for the death of sitting Democratic Congress members. Well, he didn't quite say that. He did say they should be put on trial and arrested, and then really they should get whatever the punishment is. And yeah, if they're convicted, they might get death, but it's really up to the courts. And it's Trump being a little bit hyperbolic. So Trump says it's seditious. What is sedition? So the definition for sedition related to the military under Section 18 of the U.S. Code, Part 2387, sedition are activities affecting armed forces generally, whoever with the intent to interfere with, impair, or influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military or the naval forces of the United States. Section 1 advises, counsels, urges, or in any manner advises, counsels, urges, or in any manner causes or attempts to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty by any member of the military or naval forces of the United States. Okay, so you guys just watched the video. Did it have the intent to interfere with, impair, or influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military of naval forces? I think so. Does it advise, counsel, or urge, or in any manner cause attempts to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of the duty of a member? I think it does. For me, if this is the legal definition of sedition, I think it applies to these folk. And just because they're sitting congressmen doesn't get them off the hook. Members of Congress do have legal immunity for what they do and say when it's directly related to their job of creating new laws. This didn't look like that to me, so I don't think they have legal immunity based on being in Congress. So I agree with Trump. I think the Department of Justice should investigate this and bring it to a grand jury and let a grand jury decide whether this was criminal sedition or not. Sure sounds like it might be to me. Let me know what you think. Let's look at what a couple other commentators had to say about this. Let me introduce you to Dakota Meyer. He's a true American hero, was serving in either Afghanistan or Iraq in the Marine Corps, and won a Medal of Honor there. So for people in the UK, that's the highest military honor the US can give a service member, equivalent to the British Victoria Cross. He was the first living Marine to win it since the Vietnam War. So let's see what he has to say about the advice these congressmen and women are giving to our troops.
We've crossed a line in this country that cannot be ignored. We have sitting U.S. elected officials, including Senator Mark Kelly, now telling troops that they can refuse illegal orders. I mean, it sounds reasonable until you realize no legal order has been given. Everyone knows that. This isn't about the law. This is about planting seeds of doubt. It's a Trojan horse slipped into the minds of the one group of Americans who cannot afford to doubt for even 1 second, our military. I mean, you get our troops questioning their chain of command, questioning their commander-in-chief, questioning the oath that they swore to. And you're not just playing with politics, you're injecting anarchy into the ranks. And that goes against everything the American way stands for. Let me say this directly to anyone wearing the uniform. Do not listen to these politicians. If even one of you follows what they're attempting to do, your life's going to be the one that burns down, not theirs. You'll lose your rank, your career, your benefits, your retirement, everything you worked for. And not one single politician will stand beside you when the consequences hit. They will forget your name before the ink dries on your paperwork. I think we should be thankful that Mark Kelly isn't in uniform anymore. And we should thank God that he wasn't the aircraft commander of the Enola Gay in 1945, because a man this confused about duty and responsibility would have never had the conviction to help end a world war and save American lives. This very moment isn't exposing a people problem. It is exposing a leadership problem. Leaders who are so disconnected and so desperate and so entitled that they believe they're above consequences and they believe you won't hold them accountable. It's time to put people over parties. It's time to put the Constitution over convenience. And it's time to call this out for what it is. Go see all my comments over on my new Substack that's out now.
Everything he said made perfect sense to me. I couldn't say it better. This is a Trojan horse that these politicians are injecting into the ranks of our military. It's going to sow dissent and anarchy. Don't listen to them. I think this is all good advice. The military needs to trust its leaders will follow the law and give them lawful orders. You can't have every private on the battlefield second guessing their leaders. That's how you lose wars. And the processes are already in place to make sure that orders are lawful before they're passed down to the troops that execute on them. Listen to this hero, Dakota Meyer. I think those are wise words he was given to his fellow troops. Let's look at one more commentator and see what he had to say about it. Let me introduce you to Scott Jennings here. He's one of the same journalists who's still on CNN, believe it or not. Let's see what he had to say about all this.
You can refuse illegal orders.
Well, first of all, what they're saying is complete and utter bullshit. There are no illegal orders.
I like how you're holding them back a little bit.
What? Illegal orders?
Yeah.
You were in the military. Has he given an illegal order that you know of?
Not that I know of.
And
no.
they can't name one either. I was on CNN yesterday, and we had one of these clowns on, Jason Crow. Casey Hunt asked him, is there a specific order you're worried about? Well, no, we're just generally saying it out loud. The other thing they said there is vital. The threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad. They're coming from within. They said the president is a threat to the Constitution. This is the same garbage they have been peddling that has led to violence against the president, that has led to violence against ICE agents, that has led to violence against people who are operating our government right now. This rhetoric is designed to foment insurrection against the commander-in-chief and violence against the commander-in-chief. It goes back to 2016. They have never believed this man is a legitimate president. That's what their base believes. And so they demand that their elected officials treat him like he's illegitimate. Telling the soldiers not to follow orders from the commander-in-chief? If I were Donald Trump, I would be outraged. He is outraged. He has every right to be outraged. This is extraordinarily irresponsible what these Democrats are doing.
Yeah, so I 100% agree. I'm outraged. They're undermining the chain of command. They should know better. None of these folks are in the chain of command. If you're not in the chain of command, you don't get to give advice to the troops and tell them what to do when it comes to doing their duty. So they should all be ashamed of themselves. They are sowing seeds of dissent. They are trying to drive a wedge between the military and the duly elected civilian government of America. So yes, Trump should be angry. Trump should definitely have the Department of Justice investigate and bring sedition charges to a grand jury against these 6. And if he really wants to go after them, I'm sure they all have security clearances. He should just revoke all their security clearances because of this seditious behavior. He has the authority to do that. He can take away security clearances for any reason or no reason, I'm pretty sure. And another tool he's got is for the ones that were in the military, I believe it's probably lawful for him to put them back on active service and put them in front of a court-martial. So that Navy captain, maybe he should lose some rank for participating in a seditious conspiracy against the U.S. government. Tell me what you think Trump should do. I definitely don't think this is okay. I do think that this cuts across, for me, where I think the boundary of free speech belongs. And I do not believe you have the free speech to encourage mutiny in the ranks of the U.S. military. I completely agree with Scott Jennings here and Medal of Honor winner Dakota Meyer. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you do. And if you don't like it, don't watch it.